welcome to Old Dominion Realty's 6th live webinar. We are joined again this evening with Renee Whitmore, my co-agent from Crossroads Farm Office. And Renee, we were talking earlier about how the market has improved, that we've seen that this spring and summer. And I think we have some new tools at Old Dominion Realty I'd like you to share.
We do. We have some really cool new tools right now, especially for everybody that's on the go. Everybody has their smartphone. You whip your smartphone out. If you see a house in a neighborhood and you're across the street, you can download the Old Dominion Realty app to your smartphone. So you basically just, whose mic's that one? Yours? So you basically just download this app to your smartphone, and when you pull that app up, it can actually GPS can locate you and tell you the neighboring houses that are for sale in the market, and find out what the information is on that property. It's really, really cool. So you'll go to your app store on your phone, check out Old Dominion Realty, search Old Dominion Realty, and it should pop right up for you.
Wonderful. I know that you were mentioning that you were at Colasella Street today.
Yeah.
Pulled up in front, your clients wanted to know about it, and zap, you were there.
Right there it is. So it gives you some really good information, some property details, the pricing, all that kind of stuff, so that you don't, and for buyers that are out there looking around and driving neighborhoods, it takes out that little question of, what's the prices like in this neighborhood.
Absolutely.
So,
So thanks to our IT girl, Jess, for the new tool that we have.
Absolutely.
That's
cool.
awesome. Also, we've talked about multiple offers coming in this spring and summer, where a seller gets more than one offer on their property. That's what you've been looking for. So things are starting to pop. Our last webinar, we had Nick Perrine from PPB Mars accounting firm in Harrisonburg. We also were joined by Ron Ross with VBS Mortgage. And one of the things we were talking about were the tax advantages that either you buy your owner-occupied property and the tax advantages that you have with that, or if you buy investment property, the advantages that you have with that as well. And that is what brings us to this evening's webinar. So you purchase that investment property, and we want to have it managed. So now we're being joined by Lauren Reznik with Old Dominion Realty Property Management. And Lauren, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate your expertise.
Sure.
So Renee, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can help explain property management to our folks.
Excellent. So there's a couple different facets to property management, and basically we're going to talk to Lauren about what those facets are. We're going to start with the leasing management services that you guys offer. So I'm going to turn it over to Lauren, and she's going to talk to you guys about the part about owning the property and how she can help you as a property owner.
Sure. Well, we definitely have a leasing and a full management option. The leasing option that you're referring to is kind of where we're hands-on in the beginning, and then we turn it back over to the owner. What that includes is we will advertise the property through various websites, including our own personal Old Dominion Realty Property Management website.
And what is that website?
odrpm.com, where you can find local rentals through Old Dominion as well as other agencies in the area.
Okay.
After advertising, we will show the property to potential tenants. Should they be interested at that point, they want to go through an application process. We will run them through that process. Should they be approved, we will then write and execute a lease agreement and collect a security deposit and a pet deposit if it is necessary at that time. And then once we get to the move-in date, we will do a move-in inspection and collect first month's rent, give those to the owner, and then kind of turn it back over to them.
Fantastic. One of the questions that we get a lot of times when folks are looking at the property management standpoint of things is, as an owner, who's making the decisions on who that renter is going to be? Is that up to the property management office, or does the owner have say in that as well? How much leeway do they give you, or how much?
Sure. Well, by giving us the permission to lease the property, we do have specific criteria that we go through. It consists of 4 things, which we will touch on here shortly. So typically we do feel comfortable making that decision on our own, but should we be kind of on the fence and feel like the owner needs to be advised of what the current situation is with that specific prospective tenant, then at that point we will certainly call the owner and discuss with them what might be some of our concerns.
Sure. Very good, very good. So that's just the leasing aspect of it and what they can do for an owner just in the leasing part. You also manage properties throughout the course of an entire lease as well. So talk to us a little bit about what that looks like and what those management services actually are.
Well, in addition to the previously mentioned leasing services, we do provide full management. That does have a separate fee, which of course, if you are interested in that, you're more than welcome to give us a call. We'll have that information for you later. But what that entails is we will collect the rent on a monthly basis and remit those payments to the owner. We will keep accurate records as far as what rent comes in, as well as any expenditures, which of course that would have to be approved and authorized by the owner. We will conduct quarterly inspections to make sure the property is being taken care of the way the owner would want it to be taken care of. We will coordinate any type of maintenance repairs. At the end of the current tenant's lease term, we'll also do a move-out inspection, typically a walkthrough with the tenant, so that way if they want to kind of argue anything, we can discuss that matters and easily work through that. And then we will also prepare the property for the incoming tenant.
Very good.
You know, I work with Lauren at the South Main office, and I see her coming and going 24/7. And
Yep.
I think this explains to people what she really does do.
Absolutely. They're very busy over there in the rental management world, that's for sure. I know one of the really cool things, I think at least, about our rental management division is that they are able to do pay online. So is that just rents, or can they also do deposits and that sort of thing as well?
They can do almost everything. They can apply online, pay their application fee online, submit a security and a pet deposit online as well. We also feature a direct deposit for the owners, so that way they can get their money just directly deposited into their bank account as well, which does provide some convenience there.
That is excellent. So that's really
Yes,
in this day and age, you know, you have the apps where you can check out everything on your phone. It's really nice to be able to pay things online. Everybody's doing the online
Yes.
banking and stuff now too, so it's really good.
That's great.
I know you mentioned that you guys do maintenance and that we've got a maintenance service. Talk to us a little bit about what that looks like.
Of course, we do have a separate division of Old Dominion Realty. It is called South Main Maintenance, where we have a full-time maintenance supervisor on staff. We also have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week phone line, so that way if there's ever a maintenance emergency or if someone's simply locked out, we do provide that service. And that definitely cuts down the costs for the owners, as well as it makes it more convenient for the tenants as well.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of times we get questions about the maintenance part of things as well, and folks are always wanting to know, you know, you've got your South Main maintenance. What if Uncle Jimmy is an electrician or a plumber? You know, can we use him for those services
Yes,
too?
you'd be more than welcome to use Uncle Jimmy. That is one thing that we will go over when we sign the management agreement, is to see if there are any specific subcontractors that the owner would like to use. So again, they can cut down costs for them as well.
I have a question, Lauren. Like if I'm the owner of that townhouse and let's say my dishwasher blows, do you call me and ask me permission to replace that dishwasher? Or when I've signed a management agreement with you, have you given you permission to do so?
Some owners will give us permission and set a limit to where we are pre-approved to go ahead and fix those minor items. Now, things of more serious nature, such as a dishwasher or a major plumbing issue, we will double check and always call to make sure that that is authorized and pre-approved. We don't like to spend your money without having the authorization to do so.
I'm sure your clients really appreciate that.
They certainly do.
Yeah. So that talks about one side of the fence, the owner side of the fence, the folks who own the property, invest it, and are renting it out to folks. We're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the other side of the fence, the renters that are coming in. Tell us how you help renters that come into your office and how to rent properties and that sort of thing.
Well, we see them through a variety of avenues, whether it be just through the phone or they email in. Sometimes they'll just randomly drop by the office. What we typically do is give them a list of all available rentals or shoot them over to the website so that way they can see pictures with them as well.
Yeah.
We'll try to knock down the criteria of exactly what they're looking for, and then we'll set up showings and then run them through the process.
Okay, very good. So within that process, you're taking their application and you know, applications, that sort of thing.
Yes, our application process, it does typically take about 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it is a little bit shorter. It really just depends on how quickly people get back to us. But the criteria itself that we go through, we will pull a full credit report and look at the report in its entirety. We will also verify employment and income, look at any rental history that they may have, although some people don't have any, and then call a couple references as well.
Now, when you're looking at that credit report, are there specific things that you're looking at? Are you looking at their number, or are there specific things that you're looking at for that?
Great question. We do look at the credit score itself, but we try to look at the report as a whole to see if they have collections or any judgments from previous management companies or what their monthly balance is. And so we look at it as a whole to make sure that they can, in fact, you know, make those monthly payments for our owners.
Absolutely. Totally understand that. So we're going to kind of go to a couple of frequently asked questions. So I'm sure that in your line of business, it's just like Pam and I's line of business. You get asked the same question over and over again. So we've got a couple of questions here that I'm sure you guys get asked a lot. So we'll answer those right now.
Okay.
What is the average lease term for?
That is definitely a very common question we get. We do get a lot of phone calls for short-term leases, but our minimum lease term is typically 1 year with a 60-day renewal notice. Now, again, that may vary per property and per owner, but pretty much across the board, it is a minimum of a 1 year.
Yeah. I know sometimes we have folks that are, buying or selling property, and they may be in between that process. They may be just sold a property and are going to be out of a house for maybe 2 or 3 months while they build or something like that.
Yes.
And I know you guys can help them a lot in that situation, but not necessarily all the time, I'm sure. Yeah. What is your standard pet policy? Everybody loves their pets. We all love our little Fidos, and everybody wants to take them along with them when when they're renting.
Yeah,
so.
that is probably maybe one of the most popular questions. Being an animal lover myself, it is hard to tell some people that some properties don't allow pets. Now, again, that will vary per property and per owner, but pretty standard is dogs and cats are typically allowed, no more than 2 with a combined weight of 60 pounds. The deposit and pet fee will vary also per property and per owner.
Okay. Any limitations on like fish and that sort of thing?
There are some atypical animals that are not allowed due to insurance purposes, and in that particular case, we would look at the insurance for that specific property.
Yeah. And then the last question that we have here is, as a landlord, or an owner of a property, what happens if I want to sell the property? If I decide that I want to liquidate it and maybe, roll it over into something else, what do I do if I'm under the rental management agreement with you guys?
Sure, we do have some owners who are looking to liquidate some of their rental properties. If they have already worked with one of our other agents in our firm or even in another firm, we like to typically refer them back to them because they've already established that relationship and typically have a good working relationship there.
Yeah.
But should they have not worked with another agent yet, we are licensed real estate agents, so we do, of course, are capable of helping them get through that sales process.
Yeah. Now, what if they're in the middle of the term of a rental leasing term with a tenant? How does that affect the tenant that's there?
Sometimes tenants do get scared. I do get asked a lot, well, what happens if my property sells?
Yeah.
Which, of course, that would be a fear as well. But standard in all of our lease agreements, it does say that should the property sell, the deposit and the lease would move to the successing landlord. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. It's always, I'm sure, gives folks a good peace of mind that they're not going to lose their house if they
Most
sell.
definitely.
At least that tenant's protected.
Yes,
New
exactly.
owner, but the tenant gets to stay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, very good. I think this kind of brings us to the end. I don't know, Pam, did you have any questions for Lauren?
No, I think, Lauren, I know I had mentioned earlier that we work in the same office, but I want you to tell folks they're interested in engaging you into possibly managing their property. How do they get in touch with you?
We prefer phone calls, but emails are more than welcome as well. Our phone number is 540-421-4991, and our email is pretty simple. It's just rent@odrva.com.
Or they could also stop by our South Main office across McDonald's on
Yeah.
11 South and talk with you as well.
Yeah,
Okay?
we love people to just pop in every once in a while. It breaks up the day.
Yeah,
That's
there
right.
you go. And I want you to also understand that both Renee, myself, or Lauren can help you with your real estate needs. You're looking to purchase that rental property or that investment property.
Yep.
So you can contact any of us. The three of us have our own websites, or you can always reach us at odrva.com. And you'll find our individual information. We'd be glad to service you with that as well. Our next webinar, we're going to switch gears a little bit, and now we're going to be going to Homeowners Association. Betty Reese with Old Dominion Realty Community Association Management is going to be joining us next month on, is it August 12th, Renee?
August the 12th at 6:30.
At 6:30. And she's going to be here to talk to us about what does she do with Homeowners Association Management.
Yeah.
How to run the efficient community. And she handles quite a few in our area in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County and in Augusta County as well. So it'll be interesting to meet with Betty. Again, I want to encourage you to go to odrva.com, click on our webinar tab, and at that point you can see the webinars that Renee and I have hosted in the last 6 times, and we encourage your questions as well. So thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll see you in August.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.